doctor has just seen him, but I warn you, he's not the same man that you remember. What do I mean? Believe me, my friend, you will find out.
Oh, really, sir? The way that you are carrying on is simply childish.
You've taken my hand.
I
You
did
have
what I
taken
could
my
to
hand
save your
against my
life.
will.
That's all.
You could have saved
that
it
is
if you
all
could. You got
I
yourself a
did. I
doctor.
did my
You could have
best
done
to
it.
save
I'm a
your
mechanic.
life.
I know my
That
stuff.
is
I know how
simply
things fit
the
together.
way it
You could have
was.
fixed my arm. I know you could have done. I don't care.
Look,
you
I
could
don't
have done.
know what
That's
kind of-
and because of you, my craft
I
is
don't
now
know
going to
what
suffer.
kind of
I'm
life
not going
that
to be
you
the
used
same
to
man
lead,
that I was.
but unfortunately it isn't going to happen anymore. So you're going to have to get used to it now. Pilot? I thought that you were dead.
No, not dead, my friend. Simply thinking about the error of both of your ways.
The error of both our ways? I tried my best to find out all I could about your target before we even set off on the bombing run. I didn't know it was a civilian target. I guess, pilot, that the New Republic that took over after the revolution wasn't all it was cracked up to be. I mean, we led reasonable lives, but look what they've done by they've cut it off and put on a new one. As I have explained to you several times, your arm was hanging off by the Anconius tendon. Now, if I had not have severed the remaining ligaments connecting your tissue to your upper arm, it would have been infected by now, and you would have, well, died. I decided, in my medical knowledge, to remove your arm and put on a brand new prosthetic. Now, you can holler, you can scream, you can shout, but at the end of the day, I saved your life, and in many ways have allowed you to do your job to the best of your ability. You like your mechanics? Well, you can work on your arm. It's not the same thing, and you know it. Look, pilot, I thought you were dead, all right? I told them what our mission was. I'm sorry. I thought I was alone. I thought I was alone. I didn't know that...
Don't get too upset with your mechanic friend, pilot. He didn't reveal anything too explicit. He simply explained the nature of your little bombing runs. Good old-fashioned shock and awe.
Isaac, that is enough.
Fine then. You know where I'll be, Doctor. Don't treat these enemy combatants anymore. We've exhausted our kindness on people like them. You know where I'll be.
Apologies, gentlemen. I don't think that, Yes, Isaac is our head of our small militia here, and I am the doctor. Call me Dr. Slive. I have been working on prosthetics for as long as I can remember. I used to be a family physician before the revolution. But afterwards I was accused of being a traitor and a spy, giving aid to innocent refugees such as Isaac's family. We fled, formed this settlement on the plains, but it turns out that, well, war has a tendency of following the people and hurting the people who are weakest. What's going to happen to you? Well, that's up to Isaac, I'm afraid. I know his first instinct is to perhaps kill you, but if that was really his intent, I don't think he would have let me operate on your arm. Well, I wouldn't have let you operate on my arm if it... Look, I understand, all right? I really do. Perhaps even more than you realise. Look. Oh, your leg. You mean you? Yes, I'm afraid so. It was after the first bombing run, after a blade bomb dropped. Sliced my leg clean off. I wasn't expecting it, even for an impact that could sever a limb. I wasn't expecting it to be so clean. I had to operate it myself. It was not a very pleasant experience, but I was the only doctor in the village at the time. I don't understand. Pilot, weren't you taught at school that, the revolution was done in the name of freedom, liberty and justice? Like equality for all, and, people who were marginalised would get all the treatment and equal opportunity as everyone else? Weren't you always taught that at school? You were. I know, I was too. I guess... I don't know. This has really shaken my confidence in things like this. I think there were things going on that they weren't telling us. Oh, you came to that conclusion yourself, did you? Well, good for you. In any kind of conflict, in my experience, there is rarely ever a contest between who is right and who is wrong. War tends to be not about who is right, but who is left. Now, if you'll excuse me. There'll be an armed guard outside, so I don't suggest that you run. I'll give you 2 a moment. I don't think that we were very well informed about our mission. I don't know, considering how, heavily armed this little settlement was. Look at the situation we find ourselves in, Pilot. We're miles behind enemy lines. We have no plane, no way of escape, and my arm's been cut off in replace of this mechanical... Well, it's not a bad job, I'll give him that. It's quite interesting, actually, but that's besides the point. We're still stuck in a hopeless situation. And I feel so disillusioned, Pilot. I thought that all of this conflict was for the better good, the greater good. But seeing all of these people, they knocked you out as we both came in. And I saw the desperate situation of many of these people. Most of them have lost limbs like the doctor there. And like I said, I was always taught in school that the revolution was noble, that we conquered the monarchists and the monarchy fled into the then to the east. And we've been at war with them ever since. The capital fell to revolutionary forces and the new president took over. But I don't know now, Pilot. I just feel like there's so much more they're not telling us. I guess the revolution was good in principle, but it seems to have been awful for these kind of people. You've noticed something. Well, what's that? Their accent. What about their accent? It's similar to mine. Pilot, My God, you're right. No, when that guy wearing that oxygen rebreather, by the way, that oxygen rebreather is quite something, isn't it? I've never seen anyone with anything like that before. Usually most of the veterans that I saw, they had, some kind of small device on their hip that connected to a mask, but he's got like oxygen tanks on his back. He's built like a, he's enormous. I don't know quite what the engineering was behind that. But yeah, you're right. My accent does sound very similar to them. I wonder if... No, it's not possible. Well, I picked up my accent from my dad. We were together almost, 8 to 9 hours a day, and the rest of the time I was just sleeping, so I only ever had his influence on my accent. My mother had, died a year or so before, and the only thing I had was my dad. Yeah, I know. Still, we won't worry about that now. For now, we need to decide on what we're doing next. Well, that all depends on you, Pilot. We can try for an escape if you want to, or... You heard what he said, there's armed guards and things. I don't know if we can make it, but if you're willing to try, then so am I. I mean, in hindsight, maybe, getting back to the capital, we can find out more about what these people are going through, and if we really feel that strongly about it, we can always leave. The other option? Well, I guess the other option is just staying put. Finding out what's in store for us. I don't think they're going to kill us, so I don't think we've got to worry about that. But it's more than likely not going to be easy, what we go through.